Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into the master's program in computer science and engineering at Eindhoven University of Technology. And if you're looking for something that goes way beyond just coding, something that really sets you up for a future that, let's be honest, we haven't even fully imagined yet, then yeah, you've definitely come to the right place. So let's just get right to it with a question that I think is on everybody's mind right now. I mean, we've got these incredible AI tools that can write code and crunch data. So what does it even mean to be an expert anymore? What's the skill that's going to keep you relevant and valuable, not just next year, but for your whole career? And really, this is the heart of it. The big value, the real game changer, isn't just being able to use the AI. It's having the deep knowledge to critically look at what it spits out. Can you actually guarantee that the AI's output is high quality? Can you catch the subtle bugs? Can you tackle those huge, messy problems that AI just isn't built for? That's what makes a real expert stand out from the crowd. And developing that exact mindset, well, that's what this degree is all about. You see, a master's in computer science and engineering, or CSE for short, it is so much more than just banging out lines of code. So let's actually break down what we're really talking about here. What I find really interesting here are the words being used: systematic, scientific. This tells you it's not about just hacking something together and seeing if it works. No, this is a serious, rigorous discipline. It's about building those massive, complex, and super reliable systems that, let's face it, our whole society depends on now. And look at this. It is definitely not a narrow field. Of course, it's got a strong foundation in computer science, but it also pulls in bits from data science, math, electrical engineering, and even social sciences. And that's the whole point. That kind of breadth is exactly what you need to solve the messy, complicated problems you find out in the real world. So what you end up with is this incredible combination, right? You learn to think like a scientist, deep, analytical, always asking why. But you also learn to act like an engineer, practical, results-driven, always asking how. It's that 1-2 punch that leads to creating amazing tech that doesn't just work, but actually makes a difference. Okay, so that's the what. We've defined the field, but now for the big questions, the why and the where. Why this specific master's program at TU Eindhoven? What really makes it different? Well, it really comes down to 5 key things that shape the whole experience. First, you get to tailor your own path. Second, you're studying right in the middle of a huge innovation hub. Third, you'll learn how to build technology that people can actually trust, which, wow, is more important than ever. Fourth, you get this great balance of freedom with guidance. And finally, there's a real focus on making software that has a positive social impact. Let's zoom in on that first one for a second. Tailor your path. So instead of some rigid, cookie-cutter curriculum where everyone does the same thing, you get to pick from 3 different focus areas. So are you into the pure, deep math behind algorithms? Or maybe you're more of a hardware person who loves systems architecture? Or maybe you're all about data and software analytics. Whatever your thing is, you can actually build a program around it. Okay, and that whole center of innovation thing, this is a huge deal. The university is smack dab in the middle of the Brainport region, which is one of the biggest high-tech hubs in all of Europe. What that means for you is that you're not just learning in a classroom bubble. You are literally surrounded by opportunities for research, for collaboration, and of course for jobs with some of the coolest companies out there. And you can really see how this flexibility helps people. Take Stefan Hoekstra, a student there. He said he got really into embedded systems and security during his bachelor's, and the program let him just go for it, to dive super deep into those topics. It's a perfect example of what tailoring your path actually looks like in practice. All right, let's switch gears a bit and talk about the long game. Because a degree like this, it's not just about landing your first job. It's really about building something that's going to be a huge asset for your entire career. And this right here, this gets to the core philosophy of the whole thing. See, on one hand, you have programs that just teach you the hot new programming language or tool of the day. And that's great until it's not hot anymore. But on the other hand, you have this approach, which is about learning how to reason. It's about building those timeless skills, critical thinking, deep problem solving, knowing how to test and evaluate a solution from every single angle. And that focus on the fundamentals, that's what makes your skills completely future-proof. Look, technology's always going to change. New languages, new frameworks, they come and go. But the ability to think critically, to break down a tough problem, and to build a high-quality solution, that is always going to be valuable. That's what really makes the graduates here stand out. All right, so if you've been listening to all this and thinking, yeah, this sounds like me, then you're probably asking, okay, what do I do next? So let's lay out the next steps. They're actually pretty simple. There are basically 3 things you can do right now. First, go visit an open day. There's no substitute for seeing the place for yourself. Second, and I think this is the best one, you can actually chat with current students. And third, you should create a My Start at TUE/E account. That'll keep you in the loop on all the important dates and events. And seriously, I can't stress that second one enough. Talking to the people who are actually in the program right now, that's the best way to get the real story. They'll be happy to answer your questions and give you their honest, unfiltered take on everything. It's like getting a backstage pass. So we'll just leave you with this final thought. A master's degree like this one isn't just about learning how the world works today. It's about getting the tools and the mindset you need to actually build the world of tomorrow. So the only real question left is, how are you going to engineer the future?